Well, it's not a little trout. That's certainly a nice fish. Wow.
The time of discovery has long since passed. What a lot of folks refer to as the Midwest is nothing more than a cornfield blur halfway in between somewhere better. Discounted and downplayed, the flocks don't stop, they just fly over this seemingly predictable land. Well, where the eerie cries of crows echo through the mist, I might have found something that cuts through those preconceived notions and, with every drift on this river, dissolve the stereotype. So much happened, and some might claim it all to be a lucky break, but I somehow snagged a front row seat to witness a truly wild spectacle.
That's a big fish, man.
Oh my God.
To me, this is the first and only river in the greater Midwest that gives the essence of fishing a western flow. Your first inclination might be to scoff because the scenery is certainly a reach when compared to the likes of Montana or Colorado, but hear me out. Missouri is a real good friend of mine, and her hills seem to hide never-ending opportunities for adventures on the fly. With many miles of blue ribbon distinction, all protected by public land, there are only a few access options to penetrate into this remote wilderness. The upper, lower, and middle sections of this blue ribbon river are all distinct in their own way and offer up plenty of chances for anglers of all levels. But be warned, this is far from a walk in the park. These hollers, they're real wild.
We need to get the heck out of here. That is nasty, whatever that is. So I'm gonna put the big camera away and literally run. Hey, pig! Oh shit, those are wild boars.
Following the flow of this spring-fed giant, my goal is to get familiar with each and every bend and shake hands with the native and wild fish that call the 11-point home. Learning with each cast and mapping with every step, my gaze will be trained on the deep blue of these rich limestone waters.
The immensity of the spring really doesn't set in until you get your eyes on it and see it for yourself. But that is really the lifeblood of this cold water fishery here in southern Missouri. The 11 Point, in my opinion, is by far one of the best trout rivers in all the Ozarks and especially in Missouri. So this is going to be 1 month trying to escape winter, enjoying, the more milder temperatures down here and trying to catch a few fish along the way. So I hope you enjoy this story. It's a little bit different than some of the most, but stick with, stay tuned. You might learn something and see a few fish along the way.
Howdy. Before we jump into the story, I'd like to mention that these productions are by no means cheap and everything gained is reinvested into future films. I'd like to offer up a huge thanks to every Fly All Season partner willing to help us out with whatever we may need to have success on the water. Along with our partners, everyone over on Patreon deserves just as much recognition because, again, you guys are the reason that we can do these films. But even if you can't support in a monetary manner, engaging with the channel makes a huge impact as well. I always love to hear your guys' comments, and the more that like and subscribe, the bigger this whole thing gets. Making a couple clicks on your phone, tablet, TV, or computer is meaningless to you, but it means the world to us. So consider subscribing. Anyway, that's more than enough. It's time to start this story. Turquoise hue felt like a warm hug to my road-weary eyes. With all the traveling I've been up to over the last few years, it's felt like a few lifetimes now since stepping back foot into the Ozark Mountains. They certainly aren't mine, but these hollers sure have influenced my more formative years. I'd hate for my bias to push the balance, but you see, this is where I fell in love with fly fishing. It felt so good knowing I had a few weeks to make some new memories and try out some new tactics I've been learning in my absence.
And that looks like a sculpin to me, ladies and gentlemen. That is sculpin-y as sculpin gets.
To this day, my dad and I still call them Mad Toms, but I can say with certainty that these odd-looking little fish are in fact a key part of Missouri's cold water stream ecology. I really never know what's going to come out the other end when I sit down and tie some flies, so I was fairly happy with how this Frankenstein muddler turned out, and even though it's far from traditional, it sure did swim well. Seeing the way it moved in the water was more than enough for me to maintain faith as I slowly made my way down this first major run. Methodically moving downstream with that rhythmic cadence, I was a touch surprised nothing landed right off the bat. Granted, there were a few ticks that gave me a slight glimmer of hope, but most likely, I'd just been bouncing bottom.
You know, it's frustrating. I know there's fish in here, but I think I might have a bad angle. as the swing goes through. I had a few ticks, but I'm gonna let it rest and maybe grab my nymph rod. There's some good structure up here. I mean, I brought the nymph rod for a reason. I want to catch some fish too. So let's go check it out and see if we can't find some. Damn, this looks so good. This whole thing can get swung out. And you betcha I'm going to. So right there is the spring. That's what kind of gives this 11 point the life, the cold water fishery. Now you can't fish the spring, but technically right there is the confluence. So off to my right is another stream, and you can fish right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna chuck the trout spey in there as best I can. This whole straight, this whole flat looks so fishy. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping we can at least get a couple, man. But yeah, enough talking. Let's get to swinging. Might be too deep here. Well, that's something. That's certainly something. It's not nothing. Yeah, that's a little trout. Well, it's not a little trout. That's certainly a nice fish. Wow. You're so fat, dude. Jeez Louises. You are one fuzzy son of a gun, dude. You have been eating really well. Oh, that was it. I'm a dinger. What the heck are you? Oh, please be a little wild guy. That would be so sweet. No, just a little stalker guy. See ya. Oh, that's a fish. Oh, whatever that is feels good. Whatever that is feels good. He hasn't hit the surface yet like a lot of these other guys have. Whoa! Is that a smallmouth? No way! Please tell me it's a small. Oh my goodness! What a treat! On the spey rod, buddy. Hello, Dolly. I probably should stop playing around with you and get you in a net. Yeah. That's the best, dude. Yeah. Somebody on the spey. Oh, that's phenomenal, man. Now, I love wild trout, and over the years, the 11 point, the wild trout don't seem to be doing as well, so they're doing a lot of stocking. As you can see, a lot of the fish I've caught today are stockers. So I consider this, what's in my basket, as the prize, the #1 prize on the day, which is a native smallmouth bass. I consider this guy right here an absolute trophy. That is a prize, a Missouri native. Gotta love a little smallmouth bass action on the spey. Are you joking me? He hit it like a ton of bricks, and I could tell it was definitely a different fish. But I'm gonna get him unpinned here, and we'll see him back.
Seeing that Ozark native swim back strong was outstanding and eased my mind a bit more, especially after what I saw on my hike up.
Oh man, what is that? Yo. Oh man. Dude, that sucks.
The daily limit on smallmouth bass in this system is one fish that is at least 15 inches long. I don't got a good eye for that kind of stuff, but that grayed out carcass certainly didn't look that big to me. Gives my heart a little twinge knowing how long it would have taken that fish to grow even to just that size. If that was even a legal fish, it would have been close to 5, 6, or maybe even 7 years old. Now, I don't want to sit here and bemoan someone keeping fish. It just seems a shame to half-heartedly harvest a smallie like this for it to just end up as greasy table fare at best or freezer burn trash at worst. I promise I'm not a complete tree hugger because I occasionally like to eat the fish I catch. My only wish is that folks would understand the context surrounding their actions. These native black bass are much more valuable in the water and at the end of your line than they are in a frying pan. So many crawdads eaten, so many sculpin chased. Just think of all the frogs crushed in eddies just to get to 15 inches. Hell, it might have been able to spawn this year. I don't know. It's just a shame, I guess, and I'll talk more about these fish later on, but for now, let's get back to the fishing.
I've been working the seam pretty hard with the swing, and I think I'm gonna grab the nymph and hopefully catch a dang fish on the nymph. I know they're in there, and I know they'll munch a nymph, so I'm gonna hang old Sally's swing up and grab the nymph. Try that again. Big mend. That's fish. That'll fish right there, buddy. See, I told you a nymph bite would work. Oh, don't tail slap that boy. Ooh, man, you choker-dokered that one. Not bad, not bad. You can tell he's getting used to a wilder environment, but he is still very much stocked. Wah, wah. There we go, off that balanced leech. There's so much forage fish in here. Minnows, mad toms, sculpins, the whole stinking lot. They're all in here. That's juicy fruit right there, brother. It's a good drift. That's juicy fruit. All right, let's get hook in on this guy. That seems like a good fish too. That's a good fish. You're a spring dweller. Oh shoot, you're a good fish. Hello, Dolly, look at you. Phenomenal. That is a healthy, chunky nugget, man. He fought like the Dickens, and we'll get him back here.
Nymphing is always fun, and I very well could have pulled fish after fish out of this productive seam. Would that make me a better angler? Most likely not. So I had to put down the trusty, grab the rusty, and get back into the swing of things. Keeping that step, cast, swing cadence, the dominoes kept falling the further down my boot shuffled.
I haven't seen him yet. He's small, he's fight like the Dickens. Yeah, that's another smallmouth. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Come here.
That is so funny. This little guy hit like a ton of bricks.
You're over here acting like you're a big old nasty trout, and you're just a little beautiful smallie. Look at you, Magoo. Take that. That is phenomenal. All right, brother, one last look at you. See ya. Nice. Another stellar rainbow. Wowza, bowza. Look at you, dude. I mean, that is kind of right where you stinking want it. Oh, that pops out easy enough. Well, this white seems to be working. I'm wondering if changing up yet again would help our causes here. Maybe something bigger like this. Might give something bigger like that a shot. Going for that big dog smallie. Okay, I just missed a massive bite, so I switched up. Something a little bit bigger here, and Who knows? We're just having fun now.
All right, I don't want to be one of those dorks, but this thing looks so nasty under the surface. I mean, look at that two-tone Joan with just a touch of sparkle. Ooh, man, I must have been sipping something special when I was whipping up this experimental bug. It doesn't have a name, it just looks damn fine. Pushing more water, it didn't take long for this thing to intercept some more tension downstream. I imagine the extra weight also did a number on getting it deeper and putting it in front of a whole new crop of fish. These stock trout were fun, yeah, but at the spring, the real prize is the native smallmouth bass. There's nothing subtle about the way they hit, and especially the way they fight. You can tell almost immediately that there is something different at the end of your line.
You're fighting like it, aren't you? Yeah, baby. No, it's just an AVG small jaw. Oh no, that's not a bad fish. Tell you what.
And I gotta say, it's a shame my camera didn't want to focus in because the tiger stripe camo on this fish was so stinking cool. But as I hopelessly fumbled with my autofocus settings, this sunbuck smallie flopped back. And I'm pretty sure he flipped me the bird as he shot back into the limestone blue. Ay, ay, ay. I might need to come back for you, good sir.
Hello, Dolly. Come. Hey, Mr. Man. Look at you. That's a good small jaw. With a mouthful of spoon. Oh, yeah, doggy. Great fish. Holy Toledes. That is another great smallmouth. That might be the better one of the day right there. That's a good fish. Catching these guys on the spey has been an absolute blast tonight. See ya.
Not too dissimilar from a fox locked in the hen house, my shark eyes can glaze over in the midst of a feeding frenzy, and I can admit, in my younger years, I would have posted up right here until dark, fiending for just one more bite. Am I more mature now? Well, I don't know about that. Maybe I'm just getting lazy, because after a few fish, the prospect of a warm meal and dry socks sounded mighty fine to me. Plus, this was just the first of many adventures here on the 11 Point. Bumping up past the Missouri and Arkansas border once again, it was time to take a little field trip. When I was explaining it the other night, I was worried the brief overview would do this immense spring an immense disservice, so instead of just leaving it there, I cut work a little early and decided to race down this trail before the sun went down. Now, even though there's a great deal of history surrounding this site and the people who settled it, I'm gonna stick to the more nuts and bolts information around the spring itself. This right here is the second largest spring in all of Missouri, and that's saying something because Missouri is home to some of the biggest springs in all of North America and subsequently the world. This puppy pumps out 210 gallons of cold, clean Ozark water every single day. Are you kidding me? I mean, scaling that out and trying to imagine millions of gallon jugs all stacked up on top of each other is really hard to wrap my mind around.
The immensity of this spring doesn't really set in until you get your eyes on it. I mean, this is the lifeblood of the 11 Point. This is what's giving this southern Missouri stream that cold water that can make it such a great trout fishery. And in my opinion, this is one of the best trout streams in the Ozarks and the best trout river in Missouri, hands down. So this has been really cool to see, and yeah, it's great context because these kind of springs so it gives us Missouri folk the amazing opportunities that we have.
But there's more to this spring than just quantity. The quality of this water is something to key in on. The limestone liquid gold is ice cold and extremely nutrient dense. This boost to biomass downstream is what helps make the 11 Point such an ideal trout and smallmouth fishery all year long. From top to bottom, you can see all the levels of a robust food chain present, from the deep green underwater foliage to all the invertebrate species. There's a lot of life to be eaten. Even just taking a quick look under the surface of the water will reveal schools of forage fish at every turn. This is a big reason why so many of the fish you run into on this stream, wild, native, or stocked, are just so dang plump. Since the early 90s, the Forest Service have owned and operated this extremely important site, but the old mill from private ownership still stands as a reminder of the past. Okay, hopefully by now you have a better idea of the significance of this unique place all the way in southern Missouri. Graced with yet another incredibly warm afternoon, I was really hoping to keep the ball rolling in the fish department. I needed to track down a potential backup plan because I had a buddy driving down from St. Louis to do some fishing over the weekend. Now, it had been years since I'd been below the bridge myself, and I couldn't help but feel a little blind to start. The underbrush was still tamped down and mostly dormant from winter's wake. The sprouts of spring would most likely not be a factor for a few more blissful weeks, so my one advantage in all this exploring is that I could at least walk anywhere without much hassle. It didn't take too much hiking to find that the hole from my memory was still very much here. The years, it had treated it well because it looked a little longer and a whole lot deeper. With how fishy everything seemed, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't expect to bite a bit sooner. But after swinging through most of the productive water, I was finally able to connect with my first fish of the day. By no means a world beater, this aggressive rainbow was good enough for me to break the skunk, and now the rest of the day would simply be gravy.
I'm on a new section here, so getting a little bit of success on that space, very nice. But there is a beautiful foam line that I'm gonna follow with the nymph just to see what is all in here, because one soccer rainbow doesn't really give me a good idea. I had a lot of ticks, but I think there's more than just one fish in here.
Good looking fish, man.
Yeah, you can tell he's stocked. His back fin here is all messed up, but that's a good looking fish. I think he's ready to get back. I wouldn't blame him, so let's get him back.
Hold up, wait a minute. You're a great looking fish.
Oh no. Oh, there he goes.
This fish is fighting. Alright, let's get him out of the current.
Wow, pound for pound, what are you fighting like, man? Jesus.
Yo, these boys got some serious pudge to them. Look at that. Are y'all seeing that? That is a pudgy boy. Eating good in the neighborhood. Yes, indeed. Take me to Applebee's, would you? And that nymph will pop right out. Beautiful fish. Adios, senor. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, you went for the top fly, buddy. Okay. Switching it up on me. See ya. On the caddis. Caddis. Not bad at all, man. Cool. Ah, rats. That was definitely a fish. I've cast it a little too short for the flow back. No, I guess I didn't. Oh, this feels like a good fish. I will say, even though these fish are stocked, they fight hard. Gosh darn it. God dang it, Jimmy. Come here, Jimmy Carter. Nice fish, man. Ouch. Well, that hook is still in his mouth. It's gotta be. Yeah. So it fouled up. It's okay. See that? That hook is still in his mouth. This top hook fouled him, kind of crossed him on his side, but he did launch that. So I am not insane there. You see that? I mean, I'll pull it out of his mouth just for proof. No cuts. No cuts, no BS here. Come on. Bingo. There we go. Wow. That's sweet.
It's not a bad stocked fish, I'll be honest. He's a holdover, no doubt, but that's a good fish, I'd say. They aren't coming easy. The nymphing of this run is pretty technical, I'd say, but I mean, we're closing in on quite a few fish just out of this first run. I mean, that might be getting close to 10, I don't know. It's a good sign though, because I want to come back here and fish this some more. All right, now I'm just getting greedy. This is getting silly. I should get my trout spey back out and get some real practice, because these nymph-eating sons of guns, I don't know if they're going anywhere. I mean, that is a tubby fish. Are y'all seeing the belly on that boy? You are not skipping a single meal. These fish are fat and happy. I love it.
My afternoon had quickly faded, and the evening shadows were reaching across the water and trying to grab at me. Admittedly, I spent way too much time messing around with this first run. The fish were happy and very much willing to crush my offerings. Again, I really struggle in these kind of situations. I'm just a mere man. How can I resist such temptations? All that being said, I had to remind myself that the main goal was to find a viable plan B, which I think had been taken care of. But the secondary goal was to continue mapping this river. So begrudgingly, I packed up shop and marched on.
I don't know what you are, but I'm not letting you go, boy. Oh my gosh. Beautiful rainbow. Beautiful rainbow. Look at you. Ouch. Ah, there he goes. See ya.
Now that this fly had fooled a few fish, I think it'd be a good time to stop and talk a bit more about it. Getting into the world of trout spey means I've had to fill my box with a considerable amount of prototype trout spey flies. This one in particular is just about maxing out the capabilities of my 5-weight, but it offers a way to toss something a bit bigger while at the same time getting my fly down in the water column. The pattern itself, like I said, simply a prototype, and like a lot of my other flies, the materials will no doubt deviate in the future. It's simply an amalgamation of things I really like, but the main focus is on the profile. So rather than going through every single step and instructing you down to the fiber, what I'll do instead is just ask you to pay attention to the layering, because that's all I'm really doing here. The goal is to make a few overlapping layers that when flared out will create that super fishy profile while at the same time push a ton of water. Well, if you are seeing this, then that means the risk was worth the reward. We actually found a fish on this massive fly. You know, I'm not too big into the trout spey game, so, you know, I'm learning a lot with both the techniques as well as the flies, and this was definitely on the bigger side that I'm comfortable tying and throwing, so to even think that we got something with it is pretty dang cool.
But like a lot of the flies that I like to tie, you know, this isn't really an exact pattern. You know, I've taken elements from certain videos that I was sent and, you know, see a couple things here online, here and there. But yeah, this is really kind of a Frankenstein version of it all, and you know, it's just the materials that I like to work with. So you got the zonker strips, you got the craft fur, the flashaboo, a little bit of crystal flash in there, and like the techniques that I think are really effective. So you know, your dubbing loops and just the strips of zonker themselves, I think it makes a really clean pattern. And yeah, this thing, it pushes a lot of water, and you can't really see it, but hidden in the fur is a nice trailer hook and kind of an intruder style fly in general. But yeah, those dumbbell eyes keep that hook riding up, and man, the fish, they don't seem to mind one bit. So this is super cool. I am so excited this is actually working. Like it's really neat to kind of see that. But yeah, folks, let's say enough of that and get back to the water and maybe catch a few more.
Oh, that's a fish. That's a trout. I just like seeing that there are fish in here, man. It's good news. Good news for all. Good fish too. You're a long way from home, brother. Stumpy Magoosk. I mean, I'll take it. See ya. Alright, well, it's gonna be a heavy one to carry out. Someone probably had a bad day. I'll take those snail eggs off and throw this in the trash. You really want to take me upstream, doggy? I'll go upstream with you. Just kidding, you're coming right to me, dude.
I could feel the warm air lifting as the sun rays faded behind the hills. That cold breeze on my neck was ominous and whispered warnings of winter maybe getting the last laugh. T-shirt weather had certainly been nice, but might be out of the question for this next outing. I tried to push that to the back of my mind because that was a problem for the weekend. The problem right now, as I made my final swings, is that this mapping project wasn't going to be nearly as easy as I foolishly imagined. With the amount of big water and the prospect of truly big fish at each bend, I was really wondering how I'd possibly have the time to see it all. Right as I thought the escape from winter was a success, bipolar Midwest weather came swooping in and our trip was gonna be cold.
Yeehaw, what they said.
Christian drove down from St. Louis the night before, battling this nasty cold front the whole way. As if on a dime, our forecast had gone from back sweat in a t-shirt to numb fingers under quite a few Michelin Man layers. I'm gonna grab at this cliche, but that's just Midwest weather for you.
See that eagle?
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. I think we might be home free, brother. Because this, if we get this spot, it'll make, and I hate to be that way about like, oh, we need this spot. But this would make for like an all day, just shellac them. Like it would be a lot of fun. Yes. Yes, Christian. All right, man.
Thanks.
Welcome to the 11 point. This is all ours.
At least when you're like talking about said wife, at least rollcast is in the vernacular.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's that's certainly a blessing.
See the foam line?
Yeah.
Like you would be up past your chest easily. But I'm hoping with this milk crate, it'll get us up and out. And so you can just literally stand there and cast into the good shit and just let it rip through. And what I want you to do when you stand on this thing, the center's not the strongest.
Stay in the corners.
Corner it, yeah. So you'll be
Don't break it.
standing like that. Yeah, circulation's key.
It
Like
helps
you
so much.
have to have
It's
a
amazing
circulation.
how much different.
All right, well let's see if this works. Yeah, again, there's literally no guarantees with this. This is just a harebrained idea that I had. So that should be stuck in there pretty good now. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs?
Oh, we're good.
You good?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
You should be able to get there with that. Your cast is looking better and better. I like when you bring in a lot of line and cast out your line. I think that's a really good way to go about it. Okay, now we're talking money. Now we're talking business. So you're gonna have to watch your line and try and mend it as best you can, because now it is coming into that current. But watch that. That's a good cast. Set that hook.
Feels like a decent fish.
Nice little fish.
I'd say so.
Oh, on the stone fly. Oh, they want to get stoned in the morn.
Come on over, buddy.
Nice fish, buddy.
Woo! All right, there we go.
Hit. All right, well you stay on your platform here. I'm gonna go get the camera. Okay, now hold him up and out towards me. Okay. There he goes. The beautiful Missouri sunrise. Christian's on the board. Good stuff, man. Dry your hands off on that.
Thank God.
Yeah, I'll take that again. Like really, really, really get them dry. Like get in there and like fucking do what you got to do.
Oh, yes, indeedy.
Oh, nice. On the bottom fly. Oh, dude, great fish.
This is fun. Oh, well worth it.
It's easy fishing,
Oh,
right? Man, they're so fat and healthy.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it's not like fishing the piney where like you might catch a fish that are like
It's a little
5
boy.
inches.
Yeah.
Like this is fun.
You're making it look easy, Christian.
Ready?
All right, yeah.
Not staying in.
There he goes.
From the first time fishing this big hole, my wheels got turning. The overall depth was just enough to be tricky. All you really needed was a few extra inches to allow for a clean drift and, more importantly, in this weather, dry elbows. Comfortable on the crate and firing on all cylinders, Christian had found his groove. It was high time I pick up a stick and try and shake off the skunk myself. These rainbows, they were fun, but my sights were set on swinging into more Ozark natives. Trout spey was now dialed in and ready to put in some work downstream.
There's a fish.
hell yeah, dude. It's a smallmouth. Yeah, dude, that's sick. This is a good fish.
Yeah. Hey there, buddy.
Yeah, how nice is that little bronze bass? Just right where it should be. Corner pocket, Mr. Man. What a wonderful prize. There was, I had ice on my guides. I think that's what it was. Oh yeah, buddy, this is a good smallie. Oh, this is the fish, dude. Don't spit me out, mama. Woohoo! Yo! Yeah, that's a freaking really nice river smallmouth. That's the fish.
Jeez, dude.
Got the winter camo. Looking like the man. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful fish. This is, in a lot of ways, this is the fish that I've been after this trip. Like, this is the one. What a beautiful Ozark native smallmouth bass. Got the winter camo on, looking mighty fine. A little cheek dimple there. That's a great fish, man. All right, my hands are about frozen. Right. I think he's chilly willy too. I think it's about time to get him back, skis. Beautiful bronze bass, made it to the Ozarks. You can't beat that, you know. On the old Trout fish. All right, before you go out, give me a synopsis of the morning, how things been.
Vibes were good to start,
Yeah.
and then hands started to freeze, rod started to freeze, vibes were low. Then the spey rod came out. Immaculate vibe. Let's go catch some fish.
Hell yeah. All right, just moving our Pyramid Lake ladders. Have you seen those videos of those people on the ladders fly fishing?
No.
No? So there's this lake, it's famous, it's called Pyramid Lake. And they've got these gigantic cutthroat in it. But they use ladders because the lake, it's like the drop off's so steep. So they're like up on these ladders, like 2-3 feet. Like it's pretty, I'll show you some videos of it.
That's wild.
But this is just our version of that. There you go. How's that reel doing? Is it still holding?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, sometimes the bearings just get off and yeah, for whatever reason it just comes off. Ooh, be careful. That cat's just nicked one of these branches, so just be mindful. Yeah, that's good stuff out there. I like that a lot. Let that ride if you can. Set. Bingo, dude. That's good stuff. It's a good fish. Christian says, you said that for every one of these stupid fish.
No, this is it's
a good fish.
Nice. Get on over here.
What does he got? Oh, he launched down that fat stonefly. You greedy porky pie. Nice, man. Good stuff.
That was fun. That was a good one. That one was nice. There we go. We're back. We're back.
Those ladder boys over at Pyramid Lake got nothing on us right now. I try and preach this to folks all the time. You just have to be willing to work with what you got sometimes. That could be with rods, line, packs, and in this case, a dang milk crate. The path is far from narrow, and you can take many different routes to get to your final destination. That being a fish on the end of your line. And I don't claim to know much about much, but I feel like I've got a decent idea of this whole fly fishing thing. And for a new angler, getting dialed in on the water can really accelerate the learning and lead to a snowball of success. Despite the fact that Christian and I have gone fishing together a few times now, I'd still consider him somewhat green with certain aspects of the fly game. Casting is still uncertain at times, and the men's, they're a little bit rusty. But what's been so great about this session is that you can see incremental improvement with each fish. In full transparency, what we were doing here wasn't easy at all. The conditions and the casting were even difficult for me at times. So I'd say Christian was doing a phenomenal job in holding his own. Really feeling like he was rocking and rolling, I grabbed the trout spey and started some more swings downstream. Much like the last time, my flies had a few seconds to swim before getting T-boned by a runaway train. And this was either the biggest trout in the river or another fair-sized bronze bass. Unbothered by the bitter air temps, these black bass were happy and they were hungry. After watching me hoot and holler with another small jaw, Christian decided that he should try his hand at this whole streamer thing and find one of his own.
There you go. Oh, if a cast like that, I'd leave that.
Leave it.
Yeah, that was good because you didn't get too much further on that second cast. Really let it swing through. Okay, strip, strip, strip. All right, you've hit this area pretty hard. I'd say take some healthy steps and keep working down. Any further down you go, just be mindful of the trees behind you. Take a look around you.
Yeah.
Just know you got some bullshit.
Like too many false casts, or is that?
No, that doesn't exist with this kind of fishing.
Okay.
Okay, do this for me. Let this one swing. Just let it swing. Yes, Christian. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Now, I do declare that might be a smallmouth bass if I have to guess.
There we go.
Look at the smile on your face. You got that's good. That's good, clean fun, folks. Oh, that's a good fish, buddy. Where'd he go?
Right at your feet.
Got him, baby.
Oh, thank God.
Little red-eye bass, dude.
Sure.
Yo, how cool is that?
That's fun.
That is so fun. Because he got that on the swing. He felt that.
Yeah,
right?
actually, yeah. I just saw a little like
Tick, 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 tick,
Tug,
tick.
I was like, boom.
Yep. Yeah, they're like the tiger stripes, man. Like, it's such a beautiful fish. Well, you could tell like the bigger one was a bit more
Like
bronze, and this one's got just beautiful colors, man.
hey.
Nice. Okay, now strip this one. Just strip this one. Don't let this one swing. So small strips. Fast. Small, fast. Yeah. But that's why I wanted to just strip it a little bit faster and shorter, because that's what those trout like. They kind of like that cadence of like tick, 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 tick. Oh, buddy. Yeah. I'll say for this one. That's a good fish. Nice, buddy. Oh, he's got a hook draw McGraw in here. Good fish. He's got a head on him. Jesus, what is this? It's a great fish, man. I'm ready to see him back whenever you are.
Wrong way, buddy.
Graceful, not.
See, I'm just gonna hang out
Let's
here.
give you some nucks for that. I'm a streamer,
What a
man.
gnarly looking son of a gun.
Yeah, I know, that was sweet.
Mid-morning had melted off into a tolerable afternoon, and we both caught so many dang fish at this point, it really didn't matter what we threw. The beauty of this run is that when one tactic cooled off, we could just switch it up and always find some success. Christian was back on the box and back to bothering trout. While he was casting and mending with the best of them, I tried for just one more bass. Even though that smallmouth got sent back a little bit unceremoniously, now would be as good a time as any to stop for a second and discuss these fish a bit more. I've caught a few earlier in the trip, and now this session has been thick with these mini-mac trucks. I'm sure most of you out there are familiar with these iconic sport fish, But for those that don't, allow me to introduce you. Microteris delamu, smallmouth bass, smallie, brown bass, smalljaw, bronzeback, and another long list of local and indigenous words are all used to label this highly revered fish. They come in all shapes and sizes with a wide range of color patterns. From tiny Ozark streams to the greatest of lakes, these aquatic Rottweilers can fill in a niche as the top tier predator just about anywhere they preside. Basically anything coming off the upper and middle Mississippi River Basin and Great Lakes regions ought to have some native population of these black bass. Not to say they aren't found in muddy, warm rivers, they just prefer colder flows and cleaner water. The stable temperature of Greer Spring makes for the perfect winter refuge to escape the nearly freezing water in the upper river. With so many free-flowing systems, just like the 11 Point, the Ozarks are such a well-known location to find this popular game fish.
That is another great smallmouth. That might be the better one of the day right there. Catching these guys on the spey has been an absolute blast tonight. See ya.
I touched on this earlier in the video, but regulations around managing this species have been an uphill battle in the past. Locals love to eat them, and I'm sure they really are tasty, but that's not what I'm getting at. And to keep a few surely won't collapse the species, but coming to a river like this and trying to fill out your limit every single time just isn't sustainable. These fish are much more valuable at the end of your line than in the grease of your skillet, especially with how long it takes each of these individuals to reach a harvestable size. This may be anecdotal, but I know a lot of folks from St. Louis and Kansas City who make multiple pilgrimages down to the Ozarks to just fish for smallies. And hell, now that I think of it, I've spoken with a lot of cats from all over the United States and even the world that have ambitions to track down some Ozark bronze. Amazing how one fish can carry so much gravity. And I gotta be honest, it helps bring a lot of tourism dollars to the mostly dead mining, logging, and railroad towns down this direction. But that might be a whole other issue that deserves more time. For now, let's get back to the water and find a few more fish.
Yeah, last time I just bombed it straight down this hill. This'll work. Whoa, it didn't work.
Set! Oh! Oh no, Christian! Oh, that might be a little wild fish, man. Yeah, I think that's a little wild rainbow, man. Great fish. Yeah, net him for sure.
That's awesome, man. You love seeing the wild fish because you can tell. You see those white tips and how and how much smaller he is. Like that's a wild fish.
The scouting I done earlier in this trip was really starting to pay for itself. Just a stone's throw down the road was that other really productive pool I found not but a few days ago. There wasn't really anything all too special about what we were throwing on this nymph rig. If anything, it was pretty dang simple. A big old stone fly with a lot of weight was our top fly. Right under was a tried and true classic for me, the ever reliable Copper John. In reality, I'm fairly confident Christian and I could have been throwing just about anything in their direction and the results would have been the same. We were lucky enough to find the occasional wild fish in between the many hungry holdovers. This allowed for some great hook set practice on Christian's end, and I just got to sit back and enjoy the show. Occasionally I would get to jump in and display a new technique. One in particular was the walk the dog downstream mend, and even in the midst of all that, I was still able to find a fish or two.
Feed the line out, and kind of feed it down,
And then you catch a fish.
Like just like that.
Like that. And then you set the hook.
Should help me. It's a good fish.
Holy, it's so fat. Dude, what the hell have you been eating?
Dude, you're so fat. Wide load. He's so lethargic. He can't even imagine swimming away without a free meal.
paper, it can look like a long drive from St. Louis. When the fishing is this good, the memory of hours of fighting traffic are mostly forgotten in a blur of silver and pink. I gotta be honest, it was downright difficult to put down the rods, but eventually we agreed on one last fish before pulling the plug because we had a charcuterie board and UFC waiting on us back at the cabin.
I could probably end the night on that. What do you say?
Got absolute football. We got our little native
Little wild guys.
guys. That was dope.
The temperature read 73 and I was driving like I had beef with the blacktop. This afternoon was downright hot for early spring here in Missouri, and if this trend holds, I might just be able to start wet wading here soon. So far, I'd seen the uppermost access point for the blue ribbon section, and now I was set to search out the lowest. Looking at any map, you can see that sandwiched between the Greer Spring and the Turner Mills access is an awful lot of inaccessible river. Well, inaccessible if you aren't willing to walk. But when planning this trip, it only seemed natural to get a look at both the beginning and the end of this massive section. And with only a few cars in the parking lot, I grabbed my rods and did the dash downstream. The river was big down here, no doubt, but it certainly hadn't lost any of its luster. The turquoise water looked just about as good as what I'd seen up at the spring confluence. Surely there'd be some lunkers lurking. I just had to put my flies in the right spot.
It is an absolutely beautiful day. And I'm surprised there aren't more people out. This is cool. Just gonna get the trout spey set up here and get to work. And I might downsize a little bit. This boy's big. This will be my first time ever fishing this section, and it's a lot lower down, and they still have just these great long bends, which is perfect for the trout spey. So I'm happy. The weather's nice, and there's more runs that are free of folks, and I can, fish to my heart's content. So give this puppy a swing and fingers crossed find something. Oh, that was a bite. Oh man, that was a bite. Well, that was fast. Well, I don't know. Looks like a little wild dog to me. Now, I've been wrong before, but to me, that looked like a wild fish. It does receive a lot of stocking, but there are pockets of wild fish throughout this river system, and I don't know. That one looked mighty clean and kind of on the smaller side. Usually those guys are beat up, and you could tell if it was a stalker, but regardless, the skunk is off, and that feels extremely good. I was getting bites on my first cast, so this might be a half decent run, or I just jinxed myself. Either one, we'll see.
Oh, no way. Oh, no way.
Okay, I'm sure a couple of you saw that, but I did not really intend to get that fish. That was a mistake. And I'm gonna mess this up if I don't get my stuff together here.
It's a nice fish.
Now that's a stalker. That's a stalker for sure. Nice fish, man.
What the hell?
What the hell? The 11 point. What this? That's funny, man. This is awesome already. Jeez Louise, man.
Initially, nothing looked wrong, so I went through the normal motions. He hadn't been out of the water any longer than any of the other fish I'd caught on this trip, but after getting this old dog back in the water, we sat together like this for a long time. Movement basically stopped, and you could just feel the life leaving this stiff fish.
Well, you hate to see it, but I got a really bad hook set on him, pretty low in the gills, and he's on death's door. So I'm gonna put him out of his misery and take him home for the skillet because, yeah, no need to waste this fish. That should be the end of that. You know, you hate to see it, but he's been dispatched, and I'm no stranger to cleaning fish, so I'm gonna get him taken care of, and
yeah, I guess, you know, I wasn't expecting it, but little trout dinner never hurt anybody, especially in this case. You know, I would much rather keep a stocked fish than either, you know, a wild fish or like a wild smallmouth. You don't want to do that. These guys are put in here for a reason, unfortunately, and I'm gonna dispatch of him accordingly and, yeah, do my best to honor the life I unfortunately took.
Don't cut my thumbs or fingers or other appendages here. Get them right up to the neck there, okay? I'm just trying to get my thumb in that. All right, there's dinner.
Again, I'd hate to sound cynical, but to me, a stocked fish like that, you know, they're put in here for a purpose, and usually I would not take them. I want to put that out there. We got plenty of food at home, but like I said, it was a bad hook set. It got like right in his gills, just bad, and as I was getting it out, I could tell he was bleeding bad, and I tried to revive him for a little bit, but he just wasn't taking to it, so no point in just letting him float down the river or letting the coons eat him. I mean, I could definitely cook him up. So he's sitting in a bag over to the side, refrigerated and ready to go home and get cleaned, and yeah, I'll probably eat him tomorrow, so it'll be good. But yeah, let's keep working this run, and I'm gonna be a little bit faster on my hook set this time. Got a bad feeling I jinxed this hole by killing that fish.
It's a good fish. They just weren't, oh my goodness gracious, man. This is a really good fish. Are you a wild fish? You feel like a wild fish, and I'm horsing you like an idiot. This is a wild fish, it's got to be. That's such a different fight. Wow, look at you. Man, alive, you're a good looking fish.
I'm just glad to know I'm not jinxed. Oh, and the hook came out right away. All you gotta do is leave it to the nymph, clean it up, let me know that I am, in fact, not cursed. But yeah, another little stocked guy here. He's been in the system for a while. He is spunky as all get out, and I'm gonna send him on back. You know, these fish, if they're stocked, they're not exactly, you know, getting used to hatches, but something I do notice is that they're really keen to grab a minnow or any sort of bait fish imitation. So, you know, I've got a caddis, but that's more of just a transition fly. I always like to hang a leech or some sort of balanced minnow in these kind of systems, just because they're really keyed into it. I mean, it's so dense with all sorts of minnows and forage fish and stuff, so it's something they're really used to, and it's not like they've been in the system for years keying in on hatches. They've been in for maybe a couple weeks, couple months. Some of them been here for years. That last one we caught, he's been there a while maybe, but you know, they're very used to something like a bait fish. So yeah, glad to know I'm not cursed. Yeehaw to that, and I'm gonna keep at it.
With a warm evening pushing on, I now had to worry about my dinner going bad. It was chilling in the water, right next to my pack, but I really didn't want to push my luck or my adventure any further downstream. One more fish in this direction was more than fine by my standards, especially coming off the spey. It was clear there was no end of food down here, and I must imagine an entrepreneurial rainbow trout could grow fat and happy with the pure amount of biomass at every turn. Just seeing this display puts my imagination on overdrive, thinking of what might be hiding in the more remote middle stretches of this river. But those thoughts would have to wait. It was time to head back towards the truck and finish out the night.
You know, sometimes river treasures can be fun, they're interesting finds, but most of the time it's just a lot of trash. And so folks, I'm gonna stop this video for just a second to offer up a PSA. Whenever I'm fishing, I always carry a dry bag with me or some kind of bag. And if I see some trash, I pick it up. You know, it's one of those things, it seems like a fool's errand if you see a bunch of trash everywhere. It's like, who cares? Like, is it really gonna matter if I pick this up because somebody else is just gonna trash it? But it's about setting a precedence and yeah, trying to be a better advocate for the land we love. I mean, this place is pretty wild, so it's not like I'm seeing a whole bunch of trash, but I've still found quite a bit in my various adventures throughout, and it's just, I don't know, it's always better to pick it up, leave this place better than when you found it. So yeah, I'm gonna take home all my trash, my river treasures, and yeah, dispose of it properly instead of this wild and scenic place. But that is quite enough for me. Folks, let's get back to the video.
I know it might seem a bit tedious, but I really do believe if we all pitch in, us folks who enjoy the outdoors can really make a positive impact. But all that aside, my evening was quickly coming to a close. All the other fishermen had gone, and I was swinging through their mangled bits. So I consider this last fish nothing but luck.
Eat it, eat it, eat it. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Stay on. Stay pinned, baby. Come on. You're a good looking fish, aren't you? Look at you, man. Oh, I'm definitely happy I came down for one more. It's a beautiful guy. Beautiful evening. See you, sir. Thank you.
What I saw today was promising, but I feel like this lower section still might have more to offer.
Ooh, that's pretty steep. Gotta love the Ozarks, man.
As I passed the trailhead marker, I had an odd gut feeling about today, but instead of listening, I bullishly pushed forward. There was one last river access to this lower section that looked worthwhile on a map. I wanted to spin the block downstream before I set my mind to the task of mapping the middle river. And trust me, I like it warm, but it was downright hot for this time of year. It just didn't sit right. Plus, I did a great job of wildly underestimating this long hike in. The wind howling through the canopy was a screaming omen, letting me know I may have made the wrong choice.
All right. Well, almost an hour hiking later, I can kind of see the river. This was a mistake, but I'm gonna have to make the most of it, I suppose, and cut in here in a second. Well, I feel like a real goofball right now. I wanted to hit those shoals, but they're too shallow, and now everything else is all way too slow. I am doing a lot of walking today. It's more of a hike, not really a fishing trip. I guess I could fish some of that, but it's just, I don't know. It seems too slow for what I got, at least.
The other night, when I was studying possible routes, I saw what looked to be a few worthwhile runs down this direction. But now, getting my boots in the water and eyes on the structure, they just didn't quite stack up to the satellite view. Granted, this happens all the time. It was just a little extra frustrating today. In an effort to see the entirety of this river, I was really pushing myself to the limit. The trip was tipping past the midpoint, and I still had quite a bit to see. That unreliable trail that I'd taken down spit me out way closer to Turner Mills than originally anticipated. I'm not kidding. I could see the bend where I'd been been fishing a few days prior. I very well could have just saved a few hours and a whole lot of sweat if I'd just parked at Turner and walked the river up. I'll be the first to admit, not my smartest decision. But hey, at least now I know. Also, the sting wouldn't be nearly as bad, seeing as I was able to keep the pesky skunk away.
It's a great fish. Why are you fighting like this, man? Oh, all right. Well, he's gone.
Sometimes you just gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them and when to wave the white flag. I've had a tough day. The camera fell in. I cut myself pretty good. I dropped my phone in. There's widowmakers falling left, right, and center. It's just a weird time to be out. Kind of bad omens all around, but yet here I am. At least it was nice today.
Despite all the bad, there was still some good. The weather, as unruly as it was, it did feel nice, and I somehow managed to avoid the pop and crash of a falling tree, which I'm very thankful for. But I think I'd seen more than enough downstream. It was time to hammer down and finish out this mapping project. Signs of the changing seasons were popping up all around. The fuse of spring had been lit, and it would only be a matter of time before this river corridor would be a lush and mostly impenetrable fortress.
It is another absolutely beautiful day, and it seems like everybody's alive. There's a little kingfisher action. Yeah, this warm weather is very, very much appreciated.
Shit, those are wild boars. Oh shit.
Hey, pig! Hey, pig!
Okie doke, we are on the middle section of the 11 point, and from everything that I've read, this is supposed to be kind of the more inaccessible, wild, kind of bushwhacky parts if you're not, floating over or into it. And clearly it's already much more wild than the other two spots, because I spotted a sounder of wild hogs just over the way there. I'm glad I brought my gun for that, because yeah, those guys, they're not something to mess with. So hoping we can find some hogs of our own just a little bit further downstream, and yeah, with a streamer, not with our not with our feet. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears peeled and keep on hacking down.
Yeah, what a shit bank we got here. This stinks. Wow, that's a sign of pig all over the place. All this rooted up ground right here, right by the bank, that's all pig. Man, that's crazy. That's a lot of pig action. Ah! I've made fatal mistakes. What the heck do we got here? First of the day on the crawdaddy. Yeah, that'll do. All right, crawdad worked. Cool.
First impressions of this new water were fine so far. I gotta be honest, I was still a little on edge from that sound of hogs rooting around, but the fishing seemed to be following the trend I was hoping to see. For any of you that have fished a mix of wild and stocked rivers, the overall fish distribution downstream was much more representative of a wild river. In any given run, you might only find 1 or 2 fish, especially for smaller ones like this.
That's a stalker, but he ain't bad. That's a half decent fish. He looks clean at least. He might just sit right there.
This water's too small for the spey.
The goal tonight was to try and get my eyes on as much of this section as possible. Doing the dilly-dally with the nymph rod wasn't gonna work, so between the spey and streamer rod, I was able to fish through a lot of water. Wading this stretch isn't common from what I've read, so the boot prints weren't really present, but this river was far from a secret. Signs of last season's angling pressure was still present. However, pressure during this time of year is nearly zero, and this next run was kind of proof of that.
This looks to be one big, long, dead section, so I'm gonna get my boogie on and try and get a little bit further below it. Oof, I'm getting bit. Getting plenty of bit. Oh no, no.
That's more what we're after. We're getting closer to the picture we're trying to paint here. He is beautiful. He's got those white tips, man. It looks like he's either wild or he's been here for a while. It's hard to tell. Fin's kind of jacked up, but that's a good fish as far as I'm concerned, man.
Ah, just a little guy. I thought you were a lot bigger than what you turned out to be, brother.
Oh, that hit like a horse. Shit, like a horse.
Come on, man. Are you a decent fish? Oh my gosh, you're fat as hell.
There we go. That one's stocked for sure, but he is so fat, so healthy. Clearly, he's mad munching lots of minnows. Come on, you. Let's get you back. All right. He's off. Easy as that. See ya. Hell yeah. Oh, that's a good fish. Holy healthy, dude. Yeah, we really got one here. This is the fish you want in this section. This is a really healthy fat fish. Good Lord, that's a really healthy fish for this river. We're getting there. I might have over exaggerated. It's not the dirty 30, not the big 20 we're after, but that's still a phenomenal fish, dude. That's crazy. You're so fat.
I gotta be honest, I missed quite a few fish, and I could have stayed here all night long and offered up new looks, but that's not the kind of angler I am. I really like to move. Bumping up and over the other side, I was met with more silence, and just from a higher vantage point, I could tell that I was swimming through by far the shallowest part of this great piece of water. Granted, there still should have been some fish here, but some familiar squeaking downriver caught my attention. and it may help explain the silence under the surface. Sure enough, clinging tight to his lounging log, that right there was my first river otter sighting of the trip. Now I've caught the fishy scent of their scat along the bank and spotted some tracks, but that right there is the worst nightmare for any rainbow trout in the system. This water dog might have cleaned out the next few holes downriver, so before finishing things out, I might need to skip over the next few holes and find some fresh water.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can fish them down here. This is crazy big. Guess I'm gonna go on a try. Kind of run out of options. Wow, it's getting to be big water.
Wow, this is impressive. This middle section is so big and so wild. I kind of need to be on the other side of the bank next time I come, because this whole thing would be insane to swing through. The best I can do is kind of get this tail in.
Being bound to the wrong bank was far from ideal, and my swings lacked any real threat. The possibilities of what might lie on the other side might have to haunt me for a few more days before I get back down this way. One positive and this slight negative is that somewhere along the riverbank walk, I intercepted a trail. And not just any trail, the Ozark Trail. Much like the ACT, PCT, and CDT, the Midwest has a mini through hike of their own. And I'd hate to be hyperbolic, but this little discovery could very well change the entire nature of this project. This right here was my fast path to run hard and fast up and down the entirety of this remote middle section. Even just knowing that it was here would allow me to push further and fish later into the evening. Walking the riverbank at night is the last thing on my to-do list, but walking a pretty well-maintained path in the dark, well, that's a different story. Now, despite pushing hard in the face of dying light, I wasn't rewarded with any more fish. The rest of my probing swings were just misses. But in all honesty, the silence didn't really dampen my mood. The shy call of a lone spring peeper echoed down the bend, while the warm swirl of air tickled the back of my neck. It could be the contrast of a dimming day playing with my eyes, but I could have sworn I saw a subtle glow of green coming from the overlapping hollows. Spring was definitely on the horizon, and each day was bringing new life.
It's getting dark and I need to be done. I got a long hike out of here, and who knows what other critters I'm going to run into today. Whew, it's nice to see the days are finally getting longer. Well, for my first time here in the middle section, I would say this is a win. I definitely need to come back and be more strategic. I'm going to take the path, the Ozark Trail. And there's a couple runs here, man. Just I'm on the wrong side, and if I had more time, I'd get over there. But I need to come back and fish those because I think that's where the big trout are going to be. But, that sun's hitting the crest there. I got a couple minutes left to light, and I need to skedaddle. So let's go.
Tonight it seemed that it was just me and the armadillos on this long walk home. They must be frequent users of this handy little trail, and I imagine we'll be seeing each other a few more times before this project is through. I couldn't help but reflect on how good today had already gone and was planning out my next move on how to map out this final section of Blue Ribbon Stretch. I mean it, the potential was nearly endless and the deep blue had to be hiding some really big fish. The light was fading, but my imagination was on the run. I was really eager to snap tee my way through some more unknown water. Luckily for me, I wasn't going to have to wait too long. Warm winds seemed to be blowing in the clouds of change yet again, and this could spell trouble on the horizon. Things in the middle section had just started to get good, so with no one at work needing anything immediate, I hit the hills for another early afternoon.
Okay, instead of taking the river, I'm gonna cut a trail and try and find the Ozark Trail again. Shouldn't be too hard. This is my creek from yesterday at least. Ooh, it's warm today. I can already feel it. I'm gonna be sweating my butt off. Okay. Not nearly as bad in the daytime, but here is the Ozark Trail. It is such a weird temperature out right now. I'm sweating my butt off. Made some good progress. We're finally up the hill, but man, this early spring weather is giving me fits. My maps are correct. It's time to bushwhack straight in and find our river. With the way spring's going, I bet this will be, you know, maybe one of the last few weeks I can actually bushwhack like this. You know, come late spring, summer, even late into summer and fall, this is all like nearly impassable. It's just so thick. So I'm taking advantage of the time. You know, this is the kind of the point why I'm telling you this. Things are not static, they're always changing. So you got to take advantage of opportunities when they come to you like this. So I'm gonna keep squeezing my way through the thorns and yeah, get to this dang river. Oh, sweet heavens. Estamos aquí. You. Oh, I'm sweating like a pig.
So the other night, it was just too late in the day to make it all the way over here. Granted, I really had to bushwhack to get here, but I was on that side of the bank and looking up, I was just salivating at this run. Perfect for the trout spey, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Call it crazy. I know I do these kind of things. If I like it, I want to do it again. I'm always that if one's good, two is better. And this is two right here. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, we can at least get something out of here. This is prime big fish territory. This is where they're gonna be. Big water, lots of space, and really not a lot of pressure. So yeah, this is, I mean, if there's gonna be game time, this right here, this is gonna be game time. So let's try and give this a run.
All right, I'm gonna make sure to swing through the top this time because that's always a good bet.
Trusting the weatherman, I was under the impression that I had all afternoon and well into the evening. Not to say I was lollygagging, but I was certainly being methodical with my approach. Plus, to give a run like this, it's due diligence. You gotta kind of be willing to work through some questionable water. But hell, if I would have known what was about to come, I might have rushed through some of this unproductive junk at the start of this big bend and skipped right to the center of the cinnamon roll.
It's amazing how I can still just absolutely poke the bank this far away. I love this rod. Okay. Okay, let's go. Okay. This feels fishy. Woo! Mamma mia, you're a nice fish. Come on now.
I'm just starting to get spoiled with this trout spey, man. This is a really good fish. For context, you know, you non-Missouri folk, I don't know if you quite get it, but finding a rainbow of this caliber is very rare, especially in this kind of an environment. I mean, this is a tank fish. Dare I say, the fish of the trip. I mean, that's a really nice fish. He's beat up too, scarred up. Looks like he's seen some herons or eagles. That's a great fish. So upstream I wasn't sure about, but down here, this is where I thought the potential would be. And yeah, my hunch was right. Standing on the other side bank, right over there is this perfect transition where you can, I mean, you can really tell there's a depth change and it just gets super, super deep. And that's where we got that guy swinging this across, and I kind of got a tick, tick, tick. Okay, cast it in there again, swung through, and then this one was on strip, strip, tick, strip again, bam, and then he crushed it. So yeah, I mean, this poor trout spey fly, I don't know what you'd call it, but it's getting a lot of work. It's running overtime, but I'm gonna keep tossing in there. Maybe there's some more.
Yeah, buddy, you've been caught. Still not a bad fish. See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is rain. It's time to get you covered up here. I mean, it kind of looks like the heavens are about to open up on my ass. I wouldn't appreciate it, but I suppose the fishing gods have been kind enough. So there's a chance of rain, but man, that looks like a big chance. Good golly, Miss Molly. It is that time of year, I suppose.
I'd really like to have a word with this weatherman. A slim window, that's all I needed, that's all. But as the front moved in, you could feel the weight of the air shifting. The likelihood of this session getting cut short was looking to be in my forecast. Judging by the wind, I might have another hour, maybe a bit more. Kinda hard to tell. All I was really focused on was cracking down on this productive run. Just from what I'd seen over the past few nights, this whole spot would be really difficult to nymph. I mean, I guess you could, you just might not be very proficient. So it just goes to show how valuable the addition of this trout spey really was to my rod arsenal. The distance and depth reached by playing this game of physics allowed my flies to get put in front of a lot of fish. Nothing is a guarantee, but with each good swing, it usually resulted in a bite. Something about the water column and the speed at which my flies are moving had these fish livid with my intruder style bug. Some would hit the swing and others would smack the strip, but this level of repeated success really helps build the confidence in this rod. Again, the trout spey helps to solve a problem that most other rigs just couldn't quite handle. But with one more fish brought to hand, I had to return all attention to the sky and gamble with my next move.
I'm not sure what it wants to do on the other side.
Ooh, man, that sounds bad. I might get caught in that stuff. I can't tell yet. So moving away from the truck might be a bad idea. But here I am. Okay. Come here, thunderstorm fish. We're going home. I asked for one more fish. That's all I really wanted in the face of this colossal spring thunderstorm. Thank you, sir. All right, it's time for me to get the heck out of here. Oh my goodness gracious. I knew there was a chance of rain, but holy God, that's crazy. We need to get the heck out of here. That is nasty, whatever that is. So I'm gonna put the big camera away and literally run. So I've got a lot of miles to cover before I can get back to the truck.
As I was clamoring to pack my bag, I couldn't help but laugh at the pickle I'd put myself in. I grew up in these parts, but admittedly, it's been a while since I've spent any real time back in the Ozarks during spring. Time as a way of dulling bad memories because I was no stranger to getting clipped by a thunderstorm But I'd be lying if I said this long hike back didn't shake me up a bit. Heavy straps and nervous anticipation had my chest tight as I roller coastered up and down the tree-covered bluffs. The shaky GoPro footage isn't good to begin with, but add low light and nothing I recorded here looks particularly great. Kind of a shame looking back because around the halfway mark, the rain started to sting my skin as the electric storm above lit up every inch of the sky. Overlapping thunder is a sound I know, but having it reverberate right on top of your head like nature's 808s was no doubt a first. I've seen wildfires, blizzards, tornadoes, monsoons, dust storms, you know, the full gambit of severe weather here in the States. But the sheer power of a spring thunderstorm in the Midwest is something overlooked but will never cease to amaze me. I'm really lucky a tree didn't fall on my truck and happy the overabundant lightning didn't want to play tag. I still had one more adventure planned in this middle section, and this newly ushered in cold front could be an untimely monkey wrench that I wasn't quite ready for.
Alright, just one rod today. Hopefully, you can do me good. Okay. Here's the OT. Let's get going. Okay, waders are on. We're at the river. It's time to do some bank fishing.
Well, this is my last morning here on the 11 point, and I'm trying to finish out the last of my mapping. I'm at the spot where I got kind of chased off the other night by that big thunderstorm. You know, it's cooled off again, but it's still spring. Everything's sprouting, and I'm hoping to capitalize. This is again a hunt for that big fish, that truly massive rainbow. Got a feeling they're down here. I mean, I hope. I'm gonna try and up the ante a little bit and chuck some big meat and see, you know, kind of looks like a blood shiner, right? But yeah, most of all, I'm just glad to be out here enjoying the sights and the sounds of, yeah, spring in the Ozarks. So let's give it one last shot and see what we can find.
Holy Toledo. That hit it like a freaking horse. That's a big fish, man. It's kind of wrapped up here. Come on. There she goes. All right. Holy cow. Oh my God. Woo-hoo! Oh. Well, you go ahead and throw some big, you're gonna catch some big. That might be the fish of the trip. That is a tanker. Oh my gosh. Woohoo!
I'm sure throwing something this big is not advisable. I don't know what I'm thinking, but you know, it's like, okay, you want to catch big, you got to throw big, and I think I'm maxing out the capabilities of this rod. But I mean, that right there, that was sick. It hit it like a freaking horse. And you know, I've seen blood shiners in this river before, and you know, it could be an injured juvenile trout. You know, it could be all sorts of things. But I think most of all, it's just big. It's just big and bright, and yeah, he wanted a big old bowl of this for breakfast, and I think we should keep going in there and see if we can't find more. Yes. Okay, I'm not gonna say that that's a failure, but it might be a one-trick pony, because as this is getting saturated, it's just too heavy. I can't throw it well with this rod, so you know, I'm gonna have to go back to the box and see what's maybe a little bit lighter, just a little bit. This might be a little bit more doable.
Far removed from any parking lots, I slowly meandered down the river as the morning fog was burning off. So far, I'd say this was a fine start to the day, and exactly what I was looking for now that I had the chance to spend another full day on the water. That otter was the only other angler on the river today, and he didn't seem to impact the appetite of the occasional rainbow trout. Stranding myself with the trout spey, I had to be awfully thorough with my swings as to not miss a single opportunity. But these unpressured fish this far downstream didn't really make me sweat nearly as much as the heat coming from that spring sun.
Come here, you hooligan. You're beautiful. Oh, right in the corner too. Let's try and get the light on you. Not bad. Chompy boy. Gone. Is this A section of the OT? This has to be her. Lightly used section of the OT. Another great river treasure. What do we got here? Moonlight. Cool. Got to throw that away. Oh, cool. Right next to a water bottle. I'll throw that away too. Looks like it's unopened, wow. You know, what's really crazy about the 11 point is that this is like one of the only Midwest waters, I guess non-tailwater waters, that looks like Western, like truly Western water. Like this is a Western river smack dab in the middle of, yeah, Missouri. This would be a great place to practice. Okay. Oh, whoa. Look at that. He's got a leech on him.
These middle river runs were greasy and the fish were just coming easy. I would wager to guess these trout really hone in on anything swimming, be it a crawfish, sculpin, or minnow. Judging by their bellies, each of these happy holdovers had been hoovering up bait to their heart's content. For my last day, things had really been more than amazing, and each additional fish was simply a cherry on top. The sun was getting high, and there were only a few more uncharted runs further downstream to explore, and as the afternoon wind started to pick up, I figured I should leave these fish at this run alone and finish my mapping project.
So I just checked my maps, and this is officially the last run of the blue ribbon section of the 11 point. So I've officially mapped out all the blue ribbon from the spring all the way down to Turner Mills, I believe it is. So yeah, I'd call that an accomplishment. I'm pretty proud of that. It would only be fitting if we could get one more fish, maybe two. I'm being a little greedy. My gear's starting to fall apart on me, so I better, yeah, take what I can get and run.
That was so cool. He came from left field. That was so cool. This ain't a bad fish. Yeah, that's a great fish. That's a great fish.
So seldom do I get the opportunity to truly dial in on a bite. Call it suffering from success, but I really do move around a lot. This spring, it was definitely different. In a weird romantic way, I feel like I really got to know the 11 point, and I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't gonna miss my new friend. Granted, we met many years ago, but that was just an impromptu, hello, how do you do? This time around, it was more than just a one fish stand. I got to experience every bend and see the subtle changes as the shoulder season of spring takes hold from the grips of winter. And boy howdy, what a blessing that was. From balmy sweat running off my brow in the strengthening sun, to the bone-chilling cold fronts ushered in by snow, and even all the unpredictable thunder booms making the hair on your neck stand up, to have a front row seat to all that was nothing short of incredible. I've got a bit of bias because Missouri was my boyhood home, but I truly do love the Ozarks, and even though these trout aren't supposed to be here, I sure am glad they are. Especially in a river like this. I mean it, the 11 point feels like a western river. If any flyover folks were to want to experience what fishing out west is like, or just practice a little bit before you jump on a jet, this is the spot to do so, at least in my opinion. Not only with the size of water, but with the hiking that comes with it.
This section of the 11 point, this blue ribbon section from, you know, whatever, the Greer Spring to the Turner Mills, which is just over the other end there, it is underutilized during this time of year, and I hope you good folks out there are watching and understanding that, you know, when I go to places, I'm not going there during prime time. I'm not going there during, you know, the busy seasons. I take that back. You know, I go out west when it's busy, but I spread out. on the off seasons, I hope you guys can kind of tell that I come to places when they are at their best, right? So right now, here in the Ozarks, early spring, you know, the weeds aren't grown yet, the bugs aren't out, the water is beautiful, there's no like monsoon craze. Well, I guess I did get hit with that one pretty crazy storm, but the water's not doing too much. Right now is the best time to be out. I mean it. This early spring into mid-spring, no one's on the trails, no one's out on the water, you know, there's no floaters yet, there aren't many, you know, folks on the OT. God, that's another thing, that having the Ozark Trail right there has been amazing. Like, being able to hike into a fishery is so rare here in the Midwest, and this is one of the spots where you can really do it and do it effectively. So, you know, if there's a bunch of trucks or cars at the parking lot, well, don't sweat it. Just get your hiking boots on and walk down a little ways. I bet you they won't be there.
Not to beat a dead horse, but I really do hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, because the miles and miles of river just absolutely loaded with smallmouth and rainbow trout would be well worth a look if you ask me. The 11 Point isn't mine, and it certainly isn't yours. It's an amazing resource on public land that should be enjoyed by any and all willing to make the trek in. But I'm sure by now that's more than enough. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and most of all,
thank you for sticking with and staying tuned. I know this channel has seen kind of some different phases, and there's, you know, different content. I hope you guys still enjoy some of the new stuff we're posting, and if you don't, you know, sorry, go find a different channel. But it's cool to be able to capture these memories and kind of put them in a time capsule. And if you out there can relate or just kind of enjoy the sights and the sounds, well, that's a very I would say added benefit to it all. So yeah, it's cool that, you know, there's folks out there that can relate and enjoy this kind of stuff. And again, all I gotta say is yeah, thank you. And some more thank yous are in order, because you know, this whole dog and pony show, it doesn't happen for nothing. Folks over on Patreon, I mean, thank you so much. You know, especially in these times, you know, spending that extra bit of money for something like a YouTube channel. I mean, I do it to creators that I enjoy. So the folks out there that are willing to, you know, help the Fly All Season Patreon, I mean, it really is cool. And I'm forever in your debt, because it's, yeah, I mean, it's not cheap going out and doing this kind of stuff. And it takes a lot of work and prep and all that stuff. So all the money from that, it definitely helps. And then kind of a, I guess, caveat would be all the partners. So all the Fly All Season partners, and I know they've kind of ebbed and flowed and changed, but you know, business relationships are hard, and I hate to bring that element of that into something that I love, like making these videos, but again, it's just kind of a part of it. So yeah, the folks that I am kind of pushing towards you, you know, it's not because they're paying me, you know, crazy money. It's because I like their products and I actually use them. And then, yeah, I guess in conjunction with that, the folks that are behind those products are good people, and yeah, really trying to do good stuff for anglers like me and maybe anglers like you. So that is quite enough. This adventure on the 11 Point has been amazing. I don't know how I got so lucky to hit, I mean, a perfect spring emergence, but it's just been, again, a super amazing blessing, and yeah, cool to see. But folks, wherever you find yourself, be it in the beautiful Ozarks, right at the cusp of spring, or in your backyard, I sure hope you keep those feet in the water. And until next time, tight lines.